Among the billions of people who have walked the earth since the beginning of humanity, only a few are rightfully remembered for their remarkable skills and impactful history. Sultan Mehmet II, in other words Mehmed the Conqueror, was one of the greatest leaders in the world. He was born in 1432 in Edirne, and his early childhood passed in Edirne. He was only 19 years old when he ascended to the throne. From a very young age, the first victory he won was against himself. He was very disciplined and devoted person. He was trained by the great minds of his time, and he was able to speak many languages, including Arabic, Persian, Latin, Greek, and also Italian. Since his childhood, he was really fond of reading books, and in these ages, he laid the foundations of his intellectual character, therefore making him one of the most important leaders in the world. To conquer Istanbul was his dream since he was a child, especially Prophet Muhammad hadith on Istanbul. One day, Constantinople will be conquered. How wonderful and blessed are the commander of its conquest, and also his soldiers encouraged him on this way. Departing from Medina on 23 March 1453, Sultan Mehmet II personally prepared the plans for the cannons, that large enough to demolish the walls of Istanbul. He made very comprehensive plan, and he had built Rumelia fortress opposite Anatolian fortress in order to prevent the help that might come from the sea to the Byzantines. It was a really clever plan, but they couldn't enter the city at first because Byzantines stretched the chain to the Golden Horn, and they closed the city's gates with the stones. It is at this stage Sultan Mehmet II came up with a magnificent plan. He had understood that Istanbul wouldn't be conquered without entering to the Golden Horn. So he had laid sleds from Tophane to Kasımpaşa. Night of April 21 and 22, 67 ships were slid from these slipways and lowered into the Golden Horn. So they attacked the walls of Istanbul with the ships that they lowered into the Golden Horn. The Byzantine capital Constantinople passed into the Ottoman lands on 29 May with a siege that lasted for 54 days. And after this conquest, Sultan Mehmet II received the title of Conqueror, and with this conquest, a new era began. After plunder of crusaders, Istanbul had lost all its wealth and glory of its time. After Latin's occupation, Istanbul had entered a long period of decline. The city has turned into a village, and historians describe Istanbul as a ruined city, mostly empty and ravaged by poverty. Sultan Mehmet II, right after the conquest, started the development and settlement activities in order to bring the city to a better condition than before. After the conquest, the Ayasofya church, which was the biggest temple of the city, was converted into a mosque. The first Friday prayer was held in here. It was Friday, 3 days after the conquest. Masters and architects made a minaret and mihrab out of wood in a short time. Nothing in Ayasofya was harmed. Mosaics, which were objectionable in terms of worship, were covered. However, the main structure, mosaics, arts, and the bell tower of Ayasofya were not touched. Mehmed II also organized the settlement activities of the city after the conquest. He brought people from Anatolia and Rumelia. Empty houses were given to the new settlers. Brought to Istanbul some of the prominent people like artists, merchants, in order to develop the city in every aspect. The second built Grand Bazaar in 1461, and this project provided the revival of commercial life. And this building, which was built to generate income for Ayasofya, has been enlarged with the new additions over the years. The Grand Bazaar was one of the most important and complex projects of the empire. The reconstruction activities of Sultan Mehmet II, the city gained a Turkish identity. It became a prosperous Turkish city with the caravanserais, inns, palaces, markets, bazaars, and madrasas. Thanks to the reconstruction activities, Istanbul regains its former brilliance, and it became the largest city in Europe in the 16th century. Right after the conquest, he built a library in the Beyazıt Palace, and this library was moved to the new palace later. The palace library is the most important source which we can learn about the kind of books that he was interested in. He kept many books in his library about different fields like astronomy, philosophy, history, mathematics, geometry, and about other religions. He wanted to make Istanbul a beautiful city in every aspect. He made sure the buildings built during his period were decorated with the most beautiful tiles and various carvings. He founded an art institute called Nakkaşhane in Topkapı Palace, and he brought to here the most important artists from Anatolia and Edirne. Sultan Mehmet II, he was also interested in poetry and wrote some poems with the name of Abi. He was also known for the importance he gave to art and science at many madrasas built during his sultanate, and invited scientists from all around the world to Istanbul. And he also invited very famous Italian painter Gentile Bellini to Istanbul and had painted his portrait. As soon as Fatih entered the city, he enacted an emanname, a kind of edict, and he promised to protect the people of different religions. He also invited many cultural men and merchants for development of the culture and trade. Sultan Mehmet II, the Great Eagle, passed away in 1481 at the age of 50, and he was buried in the garden of the mosque he had built in his name in Istanbul.